today's episode of I Was Wrong, I'm going to talk about the price of silver and kind of dispel a myth, I think, that a lot of people believe, including myself previously. So, let's say, for example, you go into a booth like my booth and there's a southwestern style turquoise ring and it's $300. And it's solid sterling silver and there's a piece of turquoise in it, and you pick it up and it's heavy and there's a lot of silver, and you think to yourself, wow, $300, like, yeah, silver, like that price makes sense, like that's a lot of silver, makes sense. And the stone and everything too, even a piece without a stone in it. People tend to think, and myself included in the past, that the price of a piece is a lot in the materials, specifically in the silver. That's just not true. So, for example, in a ring, say even if it's a pretty hefty ring, like a men's ring, and it's solid sterling silver, like, you know, not plated, anything, it's maybe, depending on the price of silver, between $10-$20 worth of silver, maybe, by weight. Maybe a little bit more if you buy the silver already rolled into wire or sheets, but really, certainly not above $30. And the ring might be like $300, $500, $1,000, something like that. And especially if the piece is handmade, what the price, what you're paying for when you pay a $300 price for a ring like that is the artistry and the labor that goes into it. It can take hours to make a ring like that. You might even have to make it more than once, because you might melt it halfway, like I've done many times, or mess up in one way or another and have to remake it or whatever. And it might have artistic pieces to it, like carvings or leaves or something like that, and it's basically art. It's like a painting. And the reason that people like me use silver isn't because I want to sell expensive silver. It's because if I was doing painting, I would want to use high quality paint, because, you know, if I'm like Picasso or somebody, I'm not going to try to use, you know, Walmart paint to make a painting. I want to make it out of high quality materials, even though what I'm really selling is my art. So that's really what you're paying for. It's not in the materials, and I mean, turquoise certainly does cost a pretty penny, so that's maybe not as true with turquoise. There is a markup on turquoise, so it probably doesn't cost maybe what you think it does, but anyway, a lot of the price of a piece is the artistry. So that's just a myth that I think a lot of people have. They think, for whatever reason, a good chunk of that high price tag is in the silver, and that's just not true.